All right, welcome back. This is Sports Chat with Nat with Master T.
Hey y'all.
Thank y'all so much. Master T, don't you got something you want to say to the viewers?
Thanks guys for watching our short. Didn't realize that my short was actually gonna be what the actual Super Bowl was gonna be. So technically I predicted it without even realizing it. But thank you guys for clicking and watching the views. I was super shocked, like when they sent me the message, like, oh my gosh, it's going crazy. And I just so happened to look, I was at work. So shout out to Vanessa who makes our videos and stuff. And she sent it to me originally and said, hey, what do you think? And I was like, oh, I love it. So I actually was the first view of it. But like literally, I think the next day you guys had sent the message out and was like, oh my God, this is like the most. So thanks to everybody who watched it and stuff. So
look, we need to post that on TikTok and tag Stephen A and tag Nate Burleson, because you call that, and I don't think nobody else called that like you called. You called that, and I'm telling you, we need to put that on TikTok.
It was just interesting because I really was just like, hey, now if we did have a Super Bowl of the two Rocky teams, this is what I think it would be. And it literally came to fruition. I was not expecting it. I don't think anybody else except for let me change that. I think even maybe a few people, but I don't think most of the world, as we've already seen, most of the states really wanted to see the Ravens and Lions go. What we thought might have happened, because there was a video that surfaced that showed, and a lot of people were coming up to me as saying like, oh, I know who's going to perform at Super Bowl. First off, I was like, everybody should have known that Usher baby had been said since week 3 of the NFL season that he was performing. But they were like, oh yeah, I posted that on my Instagram like immediately. It was week 3, you guys. So I knew he was halftime performer for a minute. So yes, and a lot of people did because they released it. That was like the first time that they've ever released that artist was being like performing that early. Okay. So we knew that, and then they were like, "Oh, Post Mahomes and Reba McEntire." I was like, "They don't even go." But if you saw on it, it said February 11th, Ravens versus 49ers. So then people are like, oh, so then I had some people who were going for Detroit, like, dang, man, they ain't had to do us like that, telling us that. So everybody kind of assumed it might have been that way. But then there was some other people that said, well, what we might get is Detroit versus the Chiefs, because of the simple fact of, as we've seen, I'm not a fan of it, but Taylor Swift is bringing the NFL a lot of money just because people are watching her. Like, from what I've heard, she's already with viewers going in and how they do it. They get an extra almost $3.5 million just for people watching, just to see her and them clippets. It's annoying as I don't know what. I know it's a business move, but I ain't for that jump. But hey, whatever. So now they have that. So people thought, okay, maybe it might be the Chiefs versus the Lions. And if you've seen a picture on Facebook that's going around, it's kind of funny where they have a picture of Taylor Swift versus Eminem. I think it's hilarious. So I was kind of thinking that might happen. That's cool, because I still want Detroit. I still wanted Detroit to go into it. A lot of people wanted Detroit to go into it. We thought Detroit was this year. They got all those little documentaries like that Bye Bye Barry. I sat and watched that. It was really good, you guys.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. But you literally saw it has been like 60 something years since Detroit actually made it to Super Bowl. 66 years, I think. Yeah. That they've actually been to Super Bowl. So everybody's like, okay, this has to be their year, all that other stuff. So for the 49ers to come in there and do it, a lot of people are kind of like, if you're a Niners fan, I know you're super excited. And I don't think you really care either way if it was the Chiefs or the Ravens.
Right.
If you are a Chiefs fan, some of the fans that I heard were really disappointed because they really wanted to play Detroit. Like, everybody really wanted Detroit to get into it. So it's a very...
But I tell you what I learned.
What you learned?
I'm a subscriber, one of my very first subscribers, and one of my most faithful people. he will not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Now,
I don't care
who
they playing. He don't care who they playing. He going for Patrick Mahomes. They asked the question on First Take and some of the other shows. If you had one game, and you can take one quarterback, Brady or Mahomes, every one of them said Mahomes.
I would too, because the interesting part was even the commentators after the games were pretty much saying like, anybody who there was like the Chiefs have showed you, and not even the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes pretty much showed you don't bet against them in playoffs. Everything else, like they showed you like they can do it. Now, I will say some of their players started to actually play like they were supposed to. Travis Kelce, that you out of all 18 games of the season, it took you on the last.
So what is he now? The leading receiver in postseason passing Jerry Rice?
Yes, he has passed Jerry Rice on it because I think Jerry Rice had 151 receiving yards, so he went over that. Yes. So yes, he surpassed that. Now I think it's interesting. It took him, and even I talked to everybody's fans and stuff like that because I'm all for it. Right. That they pretty much said the same thing as a Chiefs fan. They said, I'm really upset that it took him this long to actually play like he's supposed to in a sense, because that's what we're used to with him. Like, I get it, like you was hurt at the beginning of the season, but you went the whole season playing like, oh yeah, I'm the ish. No, you wasn't this season.
Well, he was tailoring, he was swiffing.
I don't care about that.
I told y'all they done settled down now and all of that. But I told you, you can't just, they human. And I know they think they can just separate things like they willy-nilly, but that you can't start dating Taylor Swift and fly all over the country, all over the world to the shows and all of that, and play right. You can't, you're not focused. You're not as focused. He done become a little bit more focused as the year went on. So,
well, I mean, also, I feel like, so the thing that I feel about with this is the only thing that it kind of annoys is because they concentrate more on their relationship than the game. Because at the end of the game, I was really disappointed at how the NFL and broadcaster, how they focus more on during the championship trophy of the Lombardi trophy. No, that wasn't Lombardi. Dang. What was it? I forgot what the AFC gets. But, and I should know this because I remember it, but I'm sorry, guys. What's the trophy? Again? Oh, wait. What's the trophy that they get at the end of for AFC conference trip?
I forgot the name of it too.
Look, I have to look it up right quick. What is it called? Oh, well, anyway, while I'm doing that. So, the reason why I was disappointed is because out of all the other games, they usually show the players and their families on the field. They concentrated more on them two kissing, all the other stuff, when Patrick Mahomes is the one who gets it. Like, because at the end of it, and possibly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like because of this whole thing of their relationship, they're probably gonna give Travis Kelce MVP just because. When I really don't think he deserves it. He doesn't deserve it. It's definitely still Patrick. So, but this is what we have.
Speaking of Patrick, all right. So a couple of things
is Walter Payton, and he's also Walter Payton Manning.
But he has 70 more touchdowns than Brady did at this point in his career, and 5,000. Wait a minute, he had 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns in his first year. That was like unheard of. And, you know, the Chiefs, this is their second time in the Super Bowl in 5 years. We said they was the 6th-time AFC. Listen, that combination of Andy Reid, at first when Andy Reid left Philadelphia, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, we was all sad at that.
Everybody was like, what? Listen, that has been a match made in heaven. And I was getting ready to look up something right quick.
Oh, it's called the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Okay. I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it, which is hilarious because Lamar Hunt, I think he was he had something to do with the Chiefs, I think. I feel like.
Well, Patrick has a total of 219 touchdowns in his career, 28,424 yards, which is it's more than Tom Brady. Now, his completion percentage is 66, but 66.5, which ain't all that great. It ain't all that bad either, but anyway.
Oh yeah, it's the Chiefs owner's name.
Okay.
Owner is a Lamar Hunt, because they're the Hunt family. That's why I was like, I know his name over there. So it's like they came back to it. Well, honestly, I think they're trying to make it might be interesting, but I feel like Patrick and Andy Reid are kind of gonna be the new Bill Belichick and Tom Brady do it. They're trying to make Chiefs dynasty like Patriots Nation.
Yeah, well, they are.
They're like the new age one.
Yeah, and now they got my man over there, and I've said this ever since the New York Giants beat the Patriots. I love Steve Spagnuolo.
Oh yeah,
I love him. I don't know everybody defensive coordinator, but I know Steve Spagnuolo, because I wanted to know who was the man in charge of the defense that could whip the Patriots like that. And it was Steve Spagnuolo. That's when I fell in love with him. So I will never bet against him again or Patrick Mahomes. But now let me say this about that game, because we supposed to be doing a recap. We got sidetracked.
We did, but we kind of gave you a little information, because some of that stuff we was probably supposed to tell y'all later, but we just put it all at once.
We kind of put it together.
We put it all together.
Lamar choked.
The whole Ravens team choked.
The whole team choked. And it at least three passes. I see two of them right now keep playing in my head. He overthrew. He was just overthrowing.
He threw to
Odell.
When
he threw into that crowd of three Chiefs, if it was three Chiefs right there, somebody was wide open. I'm just saying.
He thought his man in the middle was gonna be wide open.
But no, you saw all of them white jerseys. Somebody over here was open. Somebody over there was open. Some was open. And to be the leading rushing team in the league, and then you get to the big game and you don't run. You got to do what you did, just like a girlfriend. You got to do what you did to get them. You got to keep them like that. You got to do the same thing you did to get them. And that's what they were not doing. They did not do now speaking of what they didn't do to get there. Now, Zay Flowers has been outstanding.
Man.
But listen.
How you fumble in the end zone?
Didn't everybody learn from Dak Prescott? Get in the end zone first. Get all the way in there. He all out there being cute, or whatever he was doing.
He did too. That was his second mistake. That first mistake when they did that taunting and he, stood over the receiver. Now
Joe Burrow say don't mess with the taunting. Let us get a little taunt in. Let us do a little something.
They may change it a little bit.
You can't touchdown celebration.
Yeah.
Come on now. We can't do nothing. You can't tackle. You can't hit them. You can't touchdown dance no more. Can we do anything?
Now some conspiracy people, I will say, I don't know if it's true or not, how they say that everything. Some people say that maybe this game was a little scripted, that it was supposed to be that way, because how they took away from everything they did. Zay Flowers has never had a fumble or anything this whole season, but you do it in a major game. Lamar was overthrowing everybody. The defense was just making dumb plays, and they were like one of the number one defenses. So you're like,
they was
the number one defense. So how in the world at the end of the season not at the end of the season, in the biggest game? So that's why some people are like, was it scripted that y'all they told y'all to lose and stuff? Because this was too many things. Now I will say Lamar did make some great plays, because your girl.
But he did. Okay, yeah, we're gonna let you talk about that. But it was his lowest completion percentage of his career, 41%. And he is 2-4 in career playoff games. Now go ahead with your stat. Go ahead with your little thing, what he did. What he did?
Oh man! So let me tell you how I know what Lamar did. So of course, the girl was at work the night before, so I was asleep at the beginning. I had my alarm set to wake up. So of course, I'm still waking up when the game came on. So I saw the Travis Kelce play with my glasses off. So I woke up. How I ended up waking up to really pay attention to the game was that first touchdown that Lamar threw. I was like, and I saw it with my glasses off, and I am very blind without my glasses.
Yeah.
So I woke up, put my glasses on, rewatched the replay, was like, dang, and still was like, dang, without my glasses. So that was that. That second one, when he threw the ball and it got tipped and he caught it his own self and continued to run, that boy was trying to be MVP.
I mean, they just didn't look like the Ravens. I don't know what happened. Somebody said on social media, check their bank accounts in the next couple of weeks because it just didn't look right. Now, I don't know. I'm just gonna say now the other game, the Detroit Lions. Somebody called it the Motown meltdown because they were up by 17 points, and Golf. Listen. He had some of the prettiest, tightest passes, but for them to melt down like that, and I love Dan Campbell, and yes, he did what he did all season, but he should have taken them field goals. I'm just saying. I would have took them field goals. I just would have taken them. I would have took them. I just would have. Because the second half was not going like the first half. So
exactly
not. So the first half, I may not would have kicked the field goal. Okay. But the second half, I'm kicking the field goal. Every time I get in the red zone, if I can't get across the goal line, I'm kicking a field goal. I'm taking some points. Now, they dominated, but that third quarter they choked. They had 2 drops, and which was the most all season. They ain't been dropping no passes. And
Swift also had, was it Swift or David Montgomery that fumbled the ball? No, he got the ball punched out.
I just wrote it.
That's what it Gibbs was the one who,
First turnover. Mm-hmm. That was their first turnover in the playoffs. And let me see. The first half, they were what I got here? 3 scores. Oh, they rushed for 21 times, 141 yards, and 3 scores. But they ain't running the ball no more. So, I mean, what happened there? What happened there?
You guys.
Was that scripted too? Was that
I don't know.
Because it just looked like they stopped playing.
I mean, hey guys, y'all know you know my team, so I already understand this thing that how you be up for a bit and then all of a sudden something changes. Stop laughing, world. When this is a heartbreaking moment.
I forgot what she's talking about.
Yeah, we don't say the scores. We don't know any of that. I don't know what they're talking about when it comes to scores wise, but I understand that you be up and then all of a sudden you like lose and you're like, how in the world? Now, at first I didn't think it was until somebody was really talking to me and was like, that probably was scripted. I'm like, it can't be. But you gotta start wondering.
You gotta start wondering.
What is it that they're gaining out of all of this with it? Because
money.
It's definitely money.
It's the betting. It's got to be the betting. It has got to be the betting.
Because you went against the entire nation of what you wanted. I think we would have been okay with certain changes. I think even if the Ravens would have won it, if it was a Chiefs Lions, I think everybody would have been still okay. But the thing I think I was telling my mom was that I don't think that they really wanted the Lions to go in if it was against the Chiefs, because at the end of the day, people would have been more upset if the Lions would have lost Super Bowl, especially with the whole thing. And they really would have been blaming oh, y'all just wanted the Kansas City Swifts. Sorry, guys, to win. And that's pretty much what it is, because Detroit they just had between them and the Ravens, they just had everything was aligned for them to go. Same thing with everything was aligned for them to go and win. They would have had a really good head-to-head battle, but
Well,
it is what it is.
It really is. That final score was 34-31. I had my paper. What we predicted, we was close. We were
close. I think we were close. Yeah, except for that Ravens.
Yeah, that Ravens, we was
the
off.
Ravens Chiefs game. We thought it was gonna be higher scoring. I did predict that the Chiefs was gonna get 17, but I didn't think that 17 was gonna make them win. But I will say, that we did call that the 49ers game was gonna and Ryan's games was on that. So I mean, with that said, congratulations to both teams. You know, y'all worked hard despite what we think as all this other stuff that happens with it. You know, y'all worked hard for it and stuff. I just want a good game. I don't want the Chiefs to bring their baggage. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But, you know, at the end of the day, I want a great game between everybody. We do know that this is pretty much a rematch of Super Bowl 54. It happened 4 years ago. That's when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl with Andy Reid, and I'm going to be that was my game that I called. I wanted the Chiefs to win. They won 31-20. This was also when, interesting enough, the 49ers were up in that game. They were up by 17. No, 10. It was 10.
Okay.
They were up by 10 and the Chiefs came back and won. I think it was at halftime. They were up by 20. I think they were up by 10. I remember that.
I think it was 10 because it's like they let you think you can win the game in the first half, but the second half is like, okay, that's it. We're gonna beat you now. All right.
Yes, it was 17. Yeah, it was 17-7 at halftime. The 49ers were up. So so I think it's going to be interesting, I guess. I just hope that we concentrate more on the players and their stories. And also, let's not forget, Usher Baby is still performing. So
and if we said it already, we're going to repeat it. The AFC Championship game was the highest viewed championship game ever.
I wonder why.
Because they were watching for Taylor. But anyway, and also the NFC Championship game, that viewership was higher than before. It wasn't the highest ever, but it was high. I forgot. I did not write the figures down. I'll be honest with you. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a recap of the most exciting week. Some people think the most exciting week is the Super Bowl, but
honestly, this is more of an exciting week. And then it gets more exciting coming up. So we have some things coming up. You guys pay attention next week. I mean, this weekend that's coming up for Pro Bowl. So it's a kind of, most people don't like Pro Bowl, but I
liked it last year much better.
I want to say Pro Bowl is interesting because you get a chance to really see the players really, like, we're always so used to them always going at each other, but you can actually see how friendly like they are and like to each other. You kind of see more of their personalities because they're playing more for fun, I feel like.
Well, but now they do the skills. They do the skill stuff, and I like that much better because they don't want to get injured.
Yeah,
you might turn your ankle or something crazy, but all of that, the flag football is better. And listen out, people. We got to do something on flag football because it's girls. The championship game is doing the Pro Bowl. Yeah. So, and it's in the Olympics. So we got a flag football section.
Yes, I forgot that they started. Yes. Is it this year for Olympics that they're doing it? Is it this year that they're doing flag football?
Yeah.
So I got another sport to get to watch.
And listen out for Fire, Hire, Retire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to the recap of the championship, the road to the Super Bowl.
We got 2 more weeks, guys. Well, less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. So thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.